Hello and welcome to the Midseason Form Podcast. We are excited to be here. Big episode today, big epi.
Yeah, we've been waiting on this one.
We have been waiting on it, and it's finally here. And now
It
it's
has
time to
arrived
do it. Now
on
we're
this special
Wednesday
Wednesday
episode
episode.
of today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't really do breakfast with the Austins anymore, do we?
not anymore, man. It's been a while.
Yeah,
I might start it back up though.
might start it back up. Yeah, it was a good time, man. It was always we enjoyed those breakfasts together.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we did
Yeah,
all those
yeah,
times.
all those times, all those one times we did it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we didn't even have breakfast.
no, we sure didn't, did we? No, no.
It was just morning time.
It was morning though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, we're brought to you by so many wonderful sponsors, namely Willis Thompson, our dear friend, dear supporter, our phenomenal Premium Platinum Plus member, L Dog Parks, my father, great supporter of the show. We're also brought to you by Greg the G-Man Latham, your father, great supporter of the show. And we're brought to you by our mothers. Our mothers are also dear friends, dear supporters, and dear mothers
Dear mother, yeah.
of the show and of us. Yeah, well, do you want to introduce our topic?
Yeah, I will allow it.
Fun?
Yeah, we are it kind of worked out that we did it this week because it's kind of like we're 10 days away from college football,
Oh, shoot.
from week 0, if you will.
Sure. And I will.
So if you haven't guessed it yet, our topic is college football. Little college football preview
Yeah.
for you. And I think we're gonna bring back our format that we did last year, right? Our recap.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is sort of a preview before the recap.
Okay. It's a pre-cap.
Yeah, because you can never be too prepared or whatever Jim says.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's almost here, brother, and it's an exciting time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, 10 days away from there's not too many games that Saturday, but there's some.
There's football though.
Vanderbilt and Hawaii.
Yeah. It's going to be live.
It's live from Hawaii.
Live football.
Wait, should we go?
Bro,
I've
we
never
have
been to Hawaii, and that's the perfect time to go to watch Vanderbilt.
Bro, we have to.
I can't think of a better reason to go to Hawaii than for a Vanderbilt football game.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
we'll take that. We'll take this off air.
Let's take it into consideration off here.
Let's put a pin in that.
You know what? I would love to put a pin in that.
But yeah, anyways, football.
Football time.
So we figured we do something. I'm pretty sure we did this last year. We'll just kind of run through. We're gonna give our very in-depth and very accurate predictions.
Sure.
That will be sure to come true.
Yeah.
So do with this info what you will.
Take it to the bank.
Of course, and that's what I mean. It's gonna, yeah. But yeah, we'll figure we can run through the conferences, pick some conference champs,
Sure.
talk a little playoff predictions,
Sure.
and then Heisman.
And Heisman.
Shall we?
I believe we shall.
Okay, how should we do this? Do you want to do you want to go by conference?
Yeah.
You have to, right?
I feel like you absolutely have to. Should we go Pac 12?
You know what? I think we should just
just for
just to kind of
just with everything.
Yeah, we'll start from the West.
Start from the West and then we'll bring it on home.
Even though conferences are all over the place now.
Sure.
But Pacific.
It's Pacific.
It's the Pacific 12.
It's specific to the Pacific.
Nice. That should be their motto.
It probably should be.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Even though it's, it doesn't really apply.
No, it doesn't at all. And it probably should not be their motto, but their motto should probably be like, no one cares about us. But anyways, with all that said, let's talk some Pac-12 football, brother. Do you want me to go first or you want to go first?
I'll go first.
You go first.
I'll go first for this one.
Yeah.
You go first next one. Yeah, so for my conference champion, Pac-12, specific to the Pacific, I am going with a very specifically Pacific team, Utah. The Utah Utes. Is that who you're going with?
Yeah.
See, I mean, USC, you know, they've had some big changes. They brought in Lincoln Riley as the coach.
Yep.
The quarterback went there too, right? He left, and Caleb Williams.
He did. Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams went to USC. So I don't know. I mean, they might be looking to kind of reclaim their glory days, as it were.
Sure. Yeah.
But you know, for that reason, I'm going Utah.
Right. Utah won it last year. You know.
They won it last year.
Yeah, I also am going Utah. I even did, and I probably just went above and beyond. That's kind of what I do.
Sure.
Who they beat in the championship.
Okay.
I have this one's it's a repeat of last year. I have Utah over Oregon, over the Ducks. But similar to you, I was going Utah USC because they're in the same. I guess they're both in the South division.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about USC just because, like you said, they're a big topic this offseason with all the changes. Their offense, I'm sure, will be very good for the reasons you said. Lincoln Riley, bringing over Caleb Williams as well, and Lincoln Riley's offense historically is very good, and he has a good bit of talent with him. But I feel like their defense is still going to be really bad because they were really bad last year. USC went 4-8 last year, and their defense was just very bad.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not going to change much this year.
I don't see why it would.
So I feel like they're going to score a lot of points, and Caleb Williams is going to do very well.
Sure.
But I feel like they're going to, lose a couple games, probably more than a couple games. But yeah, and I saw that they have the Utah USC game. It's at Utah. So I was like, okay, Utah's going to win.
Give them the nod.
They might not, but they might.
Nod.
They could win that game.
They're definitely going to.
Right. So yeah, I'm going with a repeat of, and Utah's they've been really solid for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, they've played in the championship game last three or something like that.
Sounds right. And Kyle Whittingham's been there for 20 years now.
Yeah.
He's got a good program.
Hey, come on now.
They've had I think they had a really good defense last year. I don't really know as far as what they returned this year, but it doesn't matter.
I really don't care.
They're number 7 in preseason AP poll, but interesting first game for them at Florida in a couple weeks. Trap game, week 1 down in Swamp. Hey, watch that Florida. They got to play in that Florida heat now, brother.
Yeah, come on now.
But anyways, I digress. But yeah, I'm going Utah as well.
Nice.
Over the Ducks. But it will be interesting to see how USC does.
I think it will be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy seeing how that plays out.
Yeah, it's gonna be really enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I probably won't see a ton of it.
No, I don't plan to. But that's your Pac-12.
Yeah. Move on from that.
Move on from that.
Yeah. Should we do Big 12?
Nice. Let's go.
Nice. Same time.
They did sound like the same on my end.
Yeah, it was close to me too.
Sweet.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually doing another repeat champ here.
Oh.
Which I don't know you might as well, but I'm going, listen to me now.
Come on now.
Baylor over Texas.
Oh, okay.
I said it myself. I don't really like that I said it.
Yeah.
And I kind of regret it already.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just saying Texas makes the Big 12 championship game, right? And that could even be with a handful of losses. You never know.
Sure.
I feel like a lot of times the Big 12, I feel like they beat up on each other a good bit.
Yeah, they do.
And there's no divisions, right? It's literally just the top 2. So I don't know. I can see Texas getting there with 3 or 4 losses.
Yeah.
Do I think they're back? Well, you define back.
It depends. It's semantics.
Semantics. And I mean, they're also going to have a non-conference loss to my beloved Tide in week 2, I would imagine. So,
sure.
But yeah, the team I picked though is Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor.
They were really good last year.
They were very good last year.
They finished 12-2, won the Big 12 for the first time ever, I think. It was the first time they won the Big 12 championship game. I know that.
Did they win it when RG3 was there?
No, I don't think they did actually.
Sure.
It seems like they should have.
Yeah, they should have.
I could have sworn I saw that last year was their first Big 12 championship.
Sounds good to me.
But yeah, they lost their starting quarterback technically,
Yeah.
but not really because he also got hurt, and the guy that came in, I'm blanking on his name right now,
Yeah.
but played in the Big 12 championship and then the Sugar Bowl,
Sure.
like played well, and he's now the starter.
Sure.
So obviously some experience, and he played really well. I think he started that Big 12 championship game, like his first 17 were completed or something like that. It's like a record.
Not bad.
It's not bad. But yeah, the other guy went to USF. I can't keep up with the quarterback stuff, brother. It's a mess.
It's a carousel.
It's a carousel now. But anyways, yeah, I think they had a very good offensive line last year, and I'm pretty sure they're returning like most of them from what I read in my very detailed research.
Yeah, in your research.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just I mean it was hard not to go with, like, Oklahoma is probably the most popular pick. It is close though. Like if you look at the odds, like Big 12, you got Oklahoma and Baylor pretty close. Oklahoma State's right there. I think they're preseason top 10 as well.
Yeah.
They had a good season last year.
Yeah.
I think they were number 5 going into that Big 12 championship game. If they would have won, they would have. Yeah, if they would have won, they would have been in the playoff almost for sure. So
sure.
You still got to worry about old Mike Gundy over there.
Hey, come on now.
But as far as Oklahoma goes, I don't know. I just feel like there's almost too much change, and I think it's going to take a year or two for Venables to get them back, like to be really good. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So I wanted to pick Baylor and I wanted to pick Texas. And I kind of wanted to pick Oklahoma. That's why I'm going with Oklahoma State.
Boom.
That's my pick. Oklahoma State.
Good segue.
Yeah. So Baylor, like you said, the starting quarterback for most of the year lost him. They also lost some. I feel like they had like 2 receivers that got drafted, maybe.
They lost their skill guys. They lost a lot. Like they did lose like their 2 top running backs and a couple of receivers. So yeah, they lost a lot of skill guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a little dicey.
And I think defensively they lost a couple guys too.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
I think you do.
Yeah. I always do almost. But yeah, so that's why I didn't go with them. Texas, I mean, they're probably the most talented team, maybe you could argue. I mean, they've had some good classes, but they just had some injuries in their.
I did see that.
Sarkisian's an idiot.
Yeah, it's on him for sure.
Respectfully.
Yeah. Yeah. What's their quarterback? Ewers?
Uh-huh.
That's going to be him, right?
Yeah.
The transfer from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Isn't that right? Yeah. No, he's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a lot of talent.
Yeah. And then Oklahoma, like you said, a lot of change. I mean, they did get that. They lost Rattler and Williams, right? Both of those. But they got that other transfer from somewhere else.
Dylan Gabriel from UCF.
Dylan Gabriel, UCF, yeah.
So much, man. It's crazy how many.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, it'll take some time to I think Venables, he'll probably be a good coach, but it's going to take him time. Get the program turned around.
Sure.
I like Mike Gundy a lot, and so that's why I'm going with Oklahoma State. Like you said, great year last year. Had a chance to get into the playoff, if they could have made some things happen, but
yeah.
So I'm going with them.
Boom. Quinn Ewers. I couldn't remember his first name.
Quinn Ewers. Nice.
But that's he was Ohio State transfer. Who was like the number 1 quarterback a year or 2 ago. Hasn't played with Ohio State yet, but pretty sure he's definitely going to be QB1 for Texas.
He could be a good quarterback.
Yeah, so
quarterback.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So
I like it. So next we should probably do the Big 10.
Nice.
Boom. See, now we're in the Midwest.
Yeah.
So, it's going to look backwards, but it's right for me. Now we're up here.
Sure. We're traveling.
We're traveling. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just geography.
straight shot though.
It's a straight shot. Yeah.
Yeah, straight shot.
So you are gonna go first on this one.
Should I go first on this one?
Yeah.
This one
I
was
feel like I know who you're gonna pick.
do you really?
I better, but maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to make this pick.
Sure.
Felt like I had to.
Yeah.
The I'm going Ohio State.
Yeah.
Kind of the usual suspects, as it were,
Yeah.
to win the Big Ten. The hardest part was picking who I thought they would play in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
I feel like there's I don't know, not like any great teams from
Yeah, the
the.
other division's always sort of
Didn't they do away with the legends and leaders or whatever? Isn't it?
yeah, it's East and West now.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to go like Wisconsin, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
Iowa came out of it last year, right? It was
Yeah.
Michigan and Iowa.
Yeah.
I mean, Iowa got boat raced by Michigan, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going Ohio State. They I don't know. Seems like they're kind of one of the staples in college football.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's fair.
You know,
That's
good ball club. Good ball club.
they've got some good ball players.
Actually, speaking of that, I do have some breaking news
Let's go.
from L Dog. Did I send you this?
Oh, you did. Yeah, this is a good time to break it right here, though.
Yeah.
But it's now. I mean, it's now. Like we just got it because it's breaking news.
It just now coming in. I gotta find it. Why can't I find it? I want to make sure I get it, exactly right.
Right. We can't have false reporting.
Okay, so turns out they're still pissed over the Michigan loss last year.
And this is just them as a whole, the team.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are highly optimistic that this group will make the CFP.
Okay.
This is talking about the people in, what's it called?
Columbus.
State. Columbus.
Beautiful up there.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. They're highly optimistic they're going to make the college football playoff. Offense led by C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Something just
I've
happened.
heard that.
Computer. We're still on. We're still good.
We're good.
Yeah. CJ Heisman question mark.
Do with that what you will.
Yeah, the vibes up there, according to L Dog, the vibes are 12-1/11-2 type vibe.
Okay. Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, big game against the Irish early, which will be huge.
Yeah,
and they're still pissed over the Michigan loss. So
yeah,
that's yeah. I mean, that's your Ohio State update.
Yeah, that's a lot of good nuggets there.
Yeah.
It was cool that we got his feet on the ground up there and able to.
Yeah, he was on campus.
Yeah.
By the Horseshoe, isn't that their stadium?
Yeah.
It's still there. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to L Dog for the breaking news there. That's yeah, that's big. That's big.
And again, that was all coming off vibes. It wasn't, necessarily
right. Right. But it's still breaking news.
The vibe around the town. Yeah.
Right.
So
but he did a vibe check.
Yeah, he ran the vibe check.
He did the vibe check up in Columbus and
equipment up there for the vibe check, but
yeah.
So yeah, Ohio State.
Yeah. Well, I also picked Ohio State because I don't know, it'd be really ballsy not to pick Ohio State to win the Big Ten.
Yeah.
They're loaded. And so this is one of the reasons why I did like who they would beat, because like a couple of these that are like borderline obvious, it made it a little more fun to be like, I could go a little off script maybe.
Sure.
So I have Ohio State over Purdue.
Oh.
Boilermakers.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't really know why. Other than the West, I mean, because the East, for a while now, I feel like is clearly the better division.
Sure.
You got Ohio State and Michigan, and also Michigan State.
Sure.
Penn State, who's they've had their years.
They've had their years.
And in the West, it's really hasn't been. It's not as stacked. I mean, you had Iowa. They had a good year last year. They came out, but other than that, I feel like Wisconsin's probably won the West most of the time. Out of the last 5 or so years, it's usually Wisconsin probably.
Sure.
But I don't know. Purdue, they had a solid-ish year last year, I think. 8 wins, maybe. I don't really remember. But I don't know. I remember looking at the schedules, and they avoid Michigan State, Michigan, and Ohio State, all from the East.
Oh, that's good for them.
That seems like a win, right?
Yeah, that's a win. That's a win.
So maybe they don't have to play any of them until they get killed in the Big Ten championship game.
Maybe.
You never know.
You never know.
So, but yeah, I also have Ohio State. They're like I said, they're loaded. Stroud and that receiver's name, who I do not know how to say it.
The different one, yeah, the other one.
You know, like it's a long name and it's hard to say.
Yeah,
but he's very good.
He's a good player.
And Trevion Henderson, running back. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure like all three of those guys are three of the best players in the country.
They're poised to have good years.
They're poised to have good years. And yeah, Ohio State, it seems like has a pretty easy road to the CFP. Now, Lloyd did mention in breaking news, they play Notre Dame in a couple weeks.
Yeah, big game.
But it is in Columbus, and I think Ohio State's like a 14.5-point favorite. Even though that's 5 versus 2 in the preseason poll, because Notre Dame's getting hype like always. But yeah. After that, I mean, obviously Michigan at the end. Michigan had a really good year last year, but I don't know. It just they have a pretty easy road, it seems.
Sure.
And they're very good.
They got a good team.
They have a good team, it seems.
It does seem that way.
So yeah, Ohio State for sure.
Yeah, sweet. What should we do next?
Probably the ACC. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. And I go first?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is another one that I don't want to say boring, but well, they didn't win it last year.
Well,
they didn't win it last year for the first time in like what, 6 or 7 years?
Yeah, at least.
The Clemson Tigers. But I'm going with them this year. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're gonna kind of take control of the ACC again. Last year they lost. I think they just lost 3 games last year. I think NC State beat them. And other teams did too.
Georgia beat them.
Of course. But yeah, I was trying to remember the other ACC team because I think they had 2 conference losses. Maybe it was Pitt, because I mean Pitt was the eventual champion.
Yeah.
It was Pitt, and I almost forgot this when I was looking yesterday that the last year's ACC championship was Pitt and Wake Forest. Yeah. Like it's just kind of, it's hard to see that now. Yeah. It's just kind of random. I mean, Pitt was a good team last year. They had obviously Kenny Pickett.
They beat the Vols, so I mean, you know.
Yeah, well, that's true. That was a sign right there. So that's how you knew that they were going to do it. But so I have Pitt making it back.
Oh.
Clemson beating them.
Okay.
But I will say, and this will make more sense later, I still think Clemson's going to have a couple of losses. Okay. But still win the division, have a little bit better year. DJ Uiagalelei. Yeah. He was pretty bad last year.
Yeah, he was definitely bad.
Yeah, they had bad quarterback play for the first time in a while. And turned it over a lot. Just didn't play. Their offense just was not good. Their defense was still very good, and their defense will still be good. They did lose Venables. Yeah. But they still have, I think, a few of those key pieces on defense returning. And I think DJU will play better.
I think so.
But yeah, I think they'll win the ACC with a couple losses.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm also going Clemson. Like you said, I mean, it's hard not to pick them.
I mean, the other trendy pick. I mean, people like to always do this just because their brand is Miami, but
sure.
I don't think they're not there yet.
No, Florida State's still got a long way to go too.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm going Clemson.
Boom.
Book it.
Yeah.
Should we do the granddaddy of them all?
Last but not least,
the granddaddy
of them all. That's what they call the conference.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The SEC.
SEC, baby.
It's your turn to go first.
Yeah. I mean, I'll cede the floor to you. I feel like you have a pretty vested interest in this one.
You want me to go first?
If you'd like to, if you'd like the floor is yours.
See, this is like, I mean, you obviously know who I'm picking.
Sure.
And you probably even know who I'm picking it over.
Sure.
Because it's kind of like Ohio State, like it's just really hard. Well, I guess it's not, because I mean, there's probably some picks for Georgia, but as far as who's going to get there, I don't know. I mean, it's almost impossible to not have Bama and Georgia making it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Crazier things have happened.
Who knows?
But I do have Bama over Georgia, which again would be a repeat of last year.
Yes, it would.
And the SEC championship. I'm not talking about the other one.
Come on now. Hey,
I don't even know what you're talking. I don't even know what you're talking about.
We'll get there.
But yeah, it's just hard not to. We can talk about this a little bit in a few when we get to the playoff. But it's hard not to. It's hard to see them, both of those teams, like looking at the schedules. It's hard for me to pick either of them losing a regular season game.
Yeah.
Now, will one of them lose at least one regular season game? Probably.
Some kind of a slip up, yeah.
But when you like just look at it, it's like,
hey,
I don't really.
Balls.
Hey, well, I was gonna say, brother, and this, in all seriousness, I mean, obviously, like Bama and Georgia have separated themselves right now in the SEC, really in the national stage, right?
Sure.
But
sure.
you've got, I feel like you've got some of the middle tier of the SEC. They're rising up a little bit. Tennessee should be improved. Your beloved ball should be improved. Arkansas had a good year last year. And they have
KJ Williams.
Yeah. And
quarterback.
Yeah, Jefferson. KJ Jefferson, right?
KJ Williams was a guy I knew.
Shout out KJ Williams.
Yeah, shout out KJ Williams. He played
But yeah, Jefferson's back. Pittman's got a good little program going. So Arkansas, Kentucky is kind of good-ish. Yeah. They have that quarterback that a lot of people like.
Yeah, Levis.
Yeah, Levis getting a lot of like.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. And then of course A&M, who is preseason 5 or 6, depending on the poll. You know, they have the crazy class that came in.
No funny business.
Nope.
No funny business.
Jimbo did not buy the class. Nope. Don't tell him he did. But no, I mean, they're obviously a threat in the West. I mean, they beat Alabama last year. They have the talent.
Sure. We'll
see what they can do with it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
And then you've got LSU. You've got Brian Kelly at wait, Brian. I always get the Kellys mixed up. It is Brian. You got him at LSU with his fake accent.
Yeah, let's go.
We'll see what they can do. So yeah, I don't know. I think that there's the middle tier it has improved, but it's just hard for it, for it not to be those two at the top to me.
Yeah. No, you're right though. It is kind of moving in that direction of a little bit more level playing field, but
a little more parity.
But it's still obviously separated. The top two are pretty separated, but
sure.
Anything can happen. I
didn't mention Ole Miss. They got a lot of they got a few transfers in.
Yeah.
And they were obviously a pretty good team last year, and they got that Zach Evans, running back from TCU. He's a stud.
Yeah.
And I believe their quarterback's going to be here we go with the transfers again. I believe that USC quarterback, Jackson Dart or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That sounds weird to me now, but I think that's right.
10 minutes.
Shoot, we got to go.
Yeah.
I knew this would happen. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So what are you going with?
I'm going Bama beating Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really it's hard not to see it. Yeah. Revenge story,
Yeah. Especially you can't replace a Gary Bertier, and you cannot replace all those guys that Georgia lost on defense. Like, they lost everybody. And so
they lose. Yeah, they lost a lot.
Yeah. And that's going to be hard to replace. Like, they'll still be good, obviously.
Yeah.
but it's hard to replace all of that. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm going Bama. Bama over Georgia.
Boom.
Boom.
There you go. There's the Power Five
Yeah.
conference champs, if you will. Go ahead and take it to the bank. Book it.
Book it. Book it in the bank.
So now should we teased it a little bit. Should we quickly give our playoff predictions?
Yeah.
You want to go?
Yeah.
Go.
I'm going to go Bama. One
One.
seed. One seed. I'm going to go Ohio State, 2 seed. And then I'm going to go Oklahoma State,
Okay.
3 seed.
Okay.
Then we're going to flip over here. And I think that I don't want this to happen, but I think that, the committee, it's been a while since this happened. So I'm going Notre Dame sneaks in at 4.
Okay.
Even with the early loss to Ohio State, I think
they'll lose to Ohio State and then maybe run the table.
Yeah. So
okay.
That's what I'm
All right. Well, I like that. It's I like that we have a little. It's more difference than I thought we'd have.
Yeah. Bama, Ohio State win. Bama beats Ohio State. Book it.
Yeah. Boom. Okay, I've got Bama 1, Ohio State 2. So that's the same.
Nice.
Then I've got Georgia 3.
Oh.
So, like I said, obviously, if I'm doing that, I'm kind of assuming SEC championship matchup is 2 undefeateds.
2 undefeateds. Yeah.
And they're both in, just like what happened last year.
Well, no.
odds of that happening again probably aren't great, but
that's not what happened last year, though.
Well, it's not exactly what happened last year. I just meant them both getting in after playing each other.
Sure.
Trust me, I'm aware we weren't undefeated, brother.
Yeah, well,
just saying, brother. And then 4, Baylor.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know, but I'll go ahead and say this. And then we have the same exact championship game.
Let's go.
Bama winning, Ohio State winning, then Bama, Ohio State. That's definitely the most popular. Those are probably the 2 most popular picks on Ohio State, just because of how much talent they have. It's pretty ridiculous with Bryce Young, Will Anderson, and Stroud, and that receiver guy and Henderson.
Yeah.
It's hard not to do it.
Sure.
But yeah. So like I said, I guess I'm kind of assuming Bama and Georgia undefeated. Baylor can get the 4 seed with probably not 2 losses, but Big 12 champion, maybe Big 12 champ, 2 losses.
Yeah.
You never know, depending on what else goes on. And yeah, the reason I was mentioning Clemson with a couple losses is because I don't have them in my playoff.
Sure.
Or maybe they're, right on the outside looking in or whatever, but
yeah.
Boom. Not bad.
Boom.
See, we both have a Big 12.
So
we both have a Big 12 team making it.
Yeah, Big 12
Which doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't. The reason I didn't have Georgia sneaking in there is because I think they're going to slip up and lose a regular season game that they shouldn't lose.
And then Bama gives them their second and knocks them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, will you go as far as to tell me who they're going to slip up to?
Well, it could be the Vols.
It could be math. I mean, it could be, yeah.
It could be the Vols.
It could be the Vols. It could be Kentucky.
Could be Kentucky now.
I think that's at Kentucky this year.
Yeah.
So something to keep an eye on.
Something to think about.
You never know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. Heisman. Yeah. You mentioned him actually very early on. He's not really a dark horse. I think he's actually got like the third best odds. I'm going Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, quarterback, USC, coming over from Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley. He's got Mario Williams. They've got Jordan Addison. They got 2 wide receiver transfers that are insane. So he's gonna have plenty to throw to, and they're gonna throw a lot. What?
Familiar system that he'll be playing.
Familiar system, yeah. He's staying in the same system. It'd be kind of crazy if he does that though, because like the run of Oklahoma quarterbacks that won it. Not that he's an Oklahoma quarterback now.
Sure.
But he was.
Yeah.
It's just kind of their thing lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh, I like it. Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll go Caleb Williams. I obviously don't have him in my playoff or anything, and it's been a while since there's been a winner that hasn't been a playoff team. But He can put up video game numbers and they can win, or they can lose 3 or 4 games, and he can still win the Heisman.
Yeah. No, I like it. So for me, you know, there are obviously the two that are kind of separated favorites, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. So
Yeah.
it was tough to pick one. So I'm going with just who I think is going to do it. Hendon Hooker, Heisman Trophy winner, from
Boom.
the Tennessee Vols. Book it.
All right, brother.
Yeah, he had a good year last year. He put up some crazy numbers.
He did.
And he wasn't like the starter week one. Joe Milton started the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then even the first couple games, it was kind of a platoon type situation. Sure. But then once he got settled in the role, once the offense got clicking, he put up some nice numbers for us. And we're returning most of our kind of skill guys. So besides our running backs, but
yeah, brother. Hey, there's some you might want to take that to Vegas. There's some good value with that pick.
Come on now.
You know, he's a good quarterback.
He's a good quarterback.
He's getting some love. He's one of the, kind of underrated guys, people are saying.
Well, and I'll tell you this, Jalen Hyatt, one of our wide receivers, he said that, the offense is looking good in camp. So
wow.
Come on now.
That's okay. Wow.
From the horse's mouth.
Hey, yeah. Well, as long as he can back up the talk, brother.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, that's some strong words.
Yeah, I know.
Well, looking good. That's bulletin board material for the opponents.
Yeah, I know.
Our offense is looking good. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, good for him to have the confidence, right?
Yeah, you love seeing it. You really do.
Yeah.
You really do.
Right.
We got about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, this took up a lot of time. But
should I run through a quick ad and then I do have one more thing I want to talk about. I didn't talk about it until you mentioned Kentucky, but I feel like we have to.
Just do it.
We're brought to you by Carter Cross, great friend, great supporter of the show. Barris Levins, great friend, great supporter of the show. We're also brought to you by Tommy P. He's a great man. We love him to death. We're also brought to you by Cody Braun, great man, great supporter of the show. We're also brought to you by Marvin Phillips Holland, great fans of the show. And now it's time for our last most faithful segment, Extra Innings. You're out. So I wanted to do a freebie segment. Where's the beef? John Calipari, Mark Stoops at Kentucky. We're so low on time, but Calipari said, he was trying to get like a new practice facility at Kentucky for the basketball team.
Yeah.
And said that, we deserve this. We're a basketball school. Stoops fires back on Twitter and says, no, like y'all are terrible. And we've won 4 straight postseason games.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is coming off Kentucky having first a 9-win season, and then first round exit to a 15 seed St. Peter's in the tournament this year.
Yeah.
So, there's the beef.
Yeah, that's a good call out. Yeah. 2 coaches within the same school beefing with each other.
Yeah. Obviously Kentucky is a basketball school. Like, you don't think about other sports at Kentucky, but football still makes more money, I've heard.
Yeah, I saw that today actually on Twitter. Just like now, especially now with everything with NIL and everything, everyone's a football school.
Yeah.
So, if you really think about it.
Yeah. If you got to think about it.
You have to think about it, and then you'll realize.
Yeah. But there's the beef. So do with that what you will.
And our extra inning.
And the extra inning.
It's a combined extra inning of where's the beef.
And beef. It's an extra beef inning.
An extra inning of a shared extra inning of beef.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Sweet. Well, yeah, that's all I got. You got anything?
Yeah. No, we're out of time. So football's here, baby.
Yeah, we're geared up.